Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, your success strategist, bringing you WealthWise 2025, week 40. And today, we are talking about the great wealth transfer, turning inheritance into impact. Welcome back. And we have reached a seminal point in our shared journey. Today, we tackle one of the most defining financial and cultural shifts of our era, the great wealth transfer. Over the next 2 decades, trillions of dollars will change hands as baby boomers pass their wealth to Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, etc. But here's the paradox. Inheritance is never just about the financial plane. It's deeply human. What's being transferred isn't only about accounts, businesses, or properties. If we look beneath the surface of that portfolio that was created over the perhaps multiple generations, it's about values, decision-making frameworks, and the emotional DNA of how a family defines prosperities. Some families will stumble. History tells us that wealth is often lost in 3 generations or less. Others will thrive because they are busy focusing on translating assets into legacies that inspire, regenerate, and endure. So the real question for us this week is, how do you prepare your wealth, not just your money, to outlive you? And how do you ensure that transfer becomes a multiplier of trust, stewardship, and innovation rather than a source of conflict or erosion? Why does this matter so much now? Because the numbers are staggering. The United States estimates that a projected $84 trillion will transfer by 2045. Globally, analysts put the numbers well into the hundreds of trillions as intergenerational handovers reshape everything from housing to capital markets. The risk is real because studies show 70% of families lose wealth by the second generation, 90% by the third. The culprits: lack of communication, lack of planning, and lack of a shared vision. The opportunity is unprecedented. Families that embed foresight, collaborative wealth building, and regenerative economics have a chance to flip the script, turning transfer into transformation. So even if you aren't inheriting or passing down, this shift affects you. The way that markets will allocate capital, the kinds of businesses that will thrive, and even how public policy priorities will be influenced by how the great wealth transfer plays out. It will drive new business models, philanthropic norms, and investments flows. So what do we need to do? Well, first is we need to build our legacy architecture. We advise creating a values charter. Write down explicitly what money means within your family. Is it freedom? Is it security? Is it service? Is it innovation? Too often, this is assumed, not articulated. Second, create a wealth operating system. Use the bucket framework that we've explored: a resiliency fund for security and risk buffers, a regeneration sleeve, climate and circular economy, community capital, local lending and philanthropy, and lastly, learning capital. education, and upskilling. And oh, don't forget to bolt on and bake in a joy and slack fund where you can create wonderful family memories and experiences. We also need to define stewardship roles. We need to clarify who does what, who manages, who advises, who gives, who learns, and who protects the governance system. Takeaway: legacy is not an afterthought, it's a system, and you need to think about designing it with the same rigor you apply to your financial portfolio. Families that treat legacy as an intentional operating system build resilience that outlasts volatility. So, a reflection prompt for each of you. What word, freedom, service, innovation, or some other meaningful word best captures what money means to you right now? And what does it mean to your family in the future? So what else do we need to be thinking about? Well, that's equipping the next generation. We need to be thinking about education over entitlement. Let's replace a strict inheritance model with an apprenticeship model. Involve your heirs in making philanthropic choices. Invite them to join investment circles. Include them in running resilience drills. Give them the basic practices, not just the privilege of inheritance, so that they can become great stewards of your wealth moving forward. We also need to be thinking about AI and wealth, because the next generation will inherit not just capital, but also tools like AI. Teach your heirs how to leverage AI responsibly for foresight, due diligence, and entrepreneurship purposes. In the resilience and regeneration area, require heirs to understand critical megatrends like climate, cyber, and regenerative economics so that they don't build castles on the sand. And lastly, emotional intelligence. Wealth amplifies character. Train your heirs in conflict resolution, empathy, and decision-making under stress. These are the hidden multipliers of long-term success. If your wealth outlasts you, will your values outlast you too? And how are you training your heirs to carry on both? So let's turn transfer into transformation. A multi-generational family office case study looked at the premise of it. Instead of just passing assets, they designed purposed aligned capital flows. 20% into regenerative funds, renewable energy, and circular economy. 15% into community ventures, local lending, CDFIs, social enterprises. 10% into next-gen innovation, AI tech startups co-led by heirs. Results: not only was capital preserved, it compounded impact, financial growth, social trust, and environmental resilience. Another case study, a family business transition. So a founder created a leadership incubator where heirs rotated through every division before earning voting rights. Conflict decreased, innovation increased, and unity became their competitive advantage. Takeaway: the best inheritance isn't money. It's not only about the money, I should say. It's a framework that ultimately teaches your heirs and or your trusted parties how to grow, share, and regenerate wealth. Families and or boards or trusted advisors who codify this win across the generationals. So prompt, what's one non-financial inheritance you want to embed in your plan? Wisdom, rituals, or frameworks? So our challenge of the week, refine or write your legacy charter. Capture your values, your purpose, and your enough number. Run a family finance conversation. Invite heirs, partners, or peers into the dialogue. Break the silence that causes the loss. Identify one regenerative investment you'd be proud to pass down. Post your reflections to hashtag WealthWise2025 with what legacy system you are building, what you want to do with your wealth so that it lives well beyond you, and what is the most important non-financial inheritance you want to be remembered for. So in closing, the great wealth transfer is not a theory, it's already happening. For some families, it will unleash the beast. Storms of conflict, mismanagement, and woeful losses. But for others, it will be the single greatest opportunity of their lifetime to align money with meaning and assets with impact. Wealth-wise leaders don't just pass down accounts. They pass down clarity, culture, and capacity. They understand that the greatest gift isn't just net worth, it's networked wisdom. So as we close this week, I want you to ask yourself, are you leaving an inheritance or are you leaving a living legacy? Are you preparing your heirs for assets or for phenomenal long-term stewardship? And lastly, is your wealth going to disappear in 3 generations, or are you teaching all of those parties to multiply your estate into a long-lasting, impactful transformation? So this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, your success strategy, and here's to building wealth that outlasts us and uplifts generations to come.